Alright guys, today we're going to talk about, or I figured we'd start, since I don't know when I'm going to be able to get a whole collection video done, but I figure we'll start with one knife at a time, ones I have doubles of, get them out, take a look at them, you guys can see what I have. And today we'll talk about a pair of threes. This is the first one I ever got in February of 2018. It's a M390 bento box knife. Didn't start out my journey with pair of threes very well. It's still not even close to being centered. It is much better up here. I'd swear when I got it that the lock side over here, what's called the lock side, had two washers in it because it had a huge gap. And the action was so bad when I got it that it took two hands and pounds of force to open and close this knife. I did send it back to Spyderco. They took care of it very quickly. Someone did actually call me. We got it all straightened out. All they told me was they adjusted the pivot, but I'll go ahead and say when I got the knife originally, all the screws were so tight that I could not get them loose. Couldn't even attempt to get them loose. I did notice, you know how you can tell when a Torx has been turned? This one actually has some, I don't even know if you can see it, but it actually catches your skin now, where you can tell it's been taken out. Same goes for both side pivot screws, so I'm pretty sure it was taken apart, and whatever was wrong with it was fixed. Either way, it's not centered, but the action's good now. First one I ever got, bento box, and we'll talk about the clips in a minute, but this is an MXG clip. It's not meant for the Para 3, it's meant for the PM2. When I bought it, they did not have the Para 3 specific clips, but like I said, we'll talk about that in a minute. I do like this clip. That's M390. The second one I ever got was satin M4. Yes, it's dirty. It's got oil on it, lint, everything else. I never did. I do have a clip for it. I never did put it on. I've been waiting forever for EDCI, and in a way it's kind of laziness too. I got the EDCI at least a month, if not more, before my back surgery, and I just never got around to putting it on here. I do want to use this one. I use my M4 PM2, but I did want to keep the satin look as long as possible. That's why I got the EDCI and I haven't carried it. But that will change here. I'm not sure if I'm going to dye the scales or not. But it's a satin M4 Blade HQ. Like that one too. The third one I got was the Cutlery Shop XHP. And everything about this knife is awesome, except it has hellacious lock stick. Really bad. And I know people have said that Para 3s they've have had lock stick problems. A lot of people I asked who have the Cutlery Shop XHP for whatever reason, I don't know why this particular run had some really bad lock stick on it. And there goes my pug again. So outside of the lock stick, the action's great. Like the knife, it's centered, the grinds are good. The action out of the box is awesome. This is the Para 3 specific MXG clip. And like I said, after I show them all, we'll get back. So XHP Cutlery Shop, that was the third one I got. And the last three that I got, the XHP, the St. Nick's I got used. I got a great deal on it from Matt from the EDC Brotherhood, Matt Bradshaw. I appreciate it. I do have a clip for it. It's just that I didn't get this until I already had my back surgery. I believe I got this about a month ago. It came a day or two after my back surgery. I was still in the hospital. So I didn't get to change the clip yet. But I do have a black Lynch clip for this one. It's a PM2 clip, not a Para 3 clip. I don't mind, but I am going to go ahead and use it on this one. The action on this one's pretty good. The centering is not good. It's okay though. It's not things I'm huge on that I'm talking about, because these I do plan on using. The Para 3 isn't my favorite, but it will be a good travel knife because it's the blade length short enough that I don't have to worry about having too big of a knife when we travel somewhere. And I have many different flavors. So this was my fourth one I got, and this was actually the third one I got, but I missed the first run from Knife Center. I saw it. I figured, I'll go back later and order one. Well, later they were sold out. So I did the pre-order, and this came about 3 days after the St. Nick's came. This may actually be, I'll say this, I'm not huge on these smooth scales. I will give them a try, but I'm pretty sure whichever knife I do decide to put the micarta scales from Kenny It in the Pocket on, those other scales will, if it isn't the Cruwear that I put them on, if another knife gets them, whatever scales come off of there will go on here. I definitely like the textured G10 better. And this is okay. It's definitely comfortable. I gotta say that. It's just something about it. I don't know if it's exactly for me. Maybe contour the edges a little more or something. But Cruwear, I've heard a ton of good things about Cruwear. I love M4, D2, other tool steels. So I figure I'll pick one of these up while I could. So I have this one also. So these are the 5 that I have. The Cruwear, the 4V, which I'm excited to try out, XHP, which I love, M4, which I love, and this M390 I bought back before I realized that M390 just was not, it just wasn't my favorite. It's a perfectly good user steel. I have nothing against it. It's just not my favorite. There's lots of steels I like way better than M390 or the M390 family. So we're at 9 minutes, so I'll go ahead and talk about this so we're not here forever. This is the difference in the PM2 or the Para 3 specific clip. And I like them both for different reasons. I like this clip because I wear a lot of cargo shorts, and the pants pockets come to like a triangle, so barely any of the knife sticks out anyway. And I actually find it easier to grab this one. But this clip, even though I relieve some of the tension on it, is still ridiculously stiff. And it grabs my pocket hard. This actually has done a number on a couple of my pairs of work pants. And the G10 on this, I don't know what's different about this and my Bento Bucks PM2, but the G10 on this is way coarser for the amount of times I've carried this. This clip, for some reason, I do kind of find it a little harder to grab when it's in my pocket. I mean, it does come out perfectly fine, but this clip doesn't have near the tension. It's got like perfect tension. You know, plenty enough that it's never going to fall out of your pocket. But it's easy to get in and out. And one last thing before we go. I don't know if you can tell, but the pattern on this orange G10, it's actually like a lined pattern that goes across. Besides the normal texture that Spyderco G10 has, this is still rougher than the Chinese Spyderco G10. But I really do like the texture of this particular G10. And I know it looks a whole lot like this Spyderco G10. But these three have the same texture. This one, it's just got a much nicer texture to it. Feels better when you're holding on to it. It's grippy enough to have a grip on the knife, but not so grippy that it feels like sandpaper or anything. This one, like I said, I'm really curious to try the 4V. I've heard tons of good things about it, but this one is, I know it was used before I got it. I mean, I understand. Matt bought it from someone else. I don't know if it was used prior to that. I do know Matt used it. I'm guessing it didn't have the best factory edge because when you look at the apex with a flashlight, there is a fair bit of light reflecting that reflects back at you. So I gotta get this sharpened up, get to using it, get my clip on it. And that's it. Those are my pair of threes. You guys have any questions about them? Anything else? Maybe an idea of which one. Maybe I'll let you guys vote and decide from there which one should I put the scales on from Kenny. You know, do you think they'd look best on satin? Oh, and there's the pug. Would they look best on satin? Or maybe they'd look better on black. Black hardware, black blade, yeah, black lanyard tube. Let you guys pick. Because this is going to be a working knife, and so is this. So, satin or black. You guys decide down below. Let me know. Whichever one. I can't even cut that out. He's just destroying my stuff. So, either one, you guys let me know which knife you think they'd be better on. Black or satin. Put it down below. Let me know. And as always, I appreciate your time. And thanks for watching. And the pug appreciates it also. See you guys on the next one.